First, let's get into a little ladybug living from our Take Flight series. I'm not going to call this really a background technique or background demo because it really is just journal play. And the goal to working in a journal for this series was to really kind of give the idea that it is just play. We don't always have to create a finished canvas that's ready to hang on the wall. So hopefully you'll take what you learn and apply it to a canvas at some point. Just take what works and make a canvas. You can also use any of the number of background techniques that we already have inside the Design of the Month Club library. A lot of this is self-explanatory and it is sped up to save you watching time. So I'm just going to let you watch and I'll jump in and add some tips where I think it makes sense. So I will point out that when you're rolling using a brayer or a roller to add some paint, you can exercise a lot more control by how you apply the paint to the roller. Again, here I'm just playing, so I was okay with whatever came out from the roller. I just was kind of paying attention to the overall coverage and kind of creating a balance of color that just was appealing. I like to peel the tape as soon as I'm done adding color. As soon as I no longer need that tape to mark a line for me, I like to go ahead and peel it up so it's less chance of sticking to my page. And then when I'm doing an inside shape, if I'm trying to block off a shape from the inside, I use my scissors to miter the corners to try and get a sharp edge. So you're really good at getting an inside look at just how I play. And I didn't really have a plan here as I was going about this page design. I just was trying different things. Here I'm using a lot of water with the same green, and I went thick around the edges. I didn't film that, but I put a little thick border around the edges before that. And I'm just kind of making it up as I go along. And I decided I didn't love the brush strokes, so here I am kind of covering them up by going in the other direction with the white peach and I think it kind of brings it together. I think one of the cool things about mixed media is you can just keep doing until you think it's done. And usually you end up with something cool. And the fun thing about working in a journal is you don't have the pressure of trying to do a finished piece of art. You're just having fun. This is kind of a fun tip. You may already do this, but sometimes I trace my template on tracing paper so that I can pick what parts of a certain paper I want to cut out. So here I'm actually selecting these wings because I like the way the dots end up on them. And I found the smaller ladybug was super easy to do by cutting out the entire bug and then doing a separate shell piece. That just kind of made it easy. I didn't have to manage a bunch of little parts. I adhered the wings on this ladybug a little bit further apart. They're more like she's kind of taken flight, and you'll see on the other page when we get to it that I put them a little bit close together. And you can of course do whatever you like. You can have her landing on a flower, maybe combine our flower power design with a few of our insects. We've got one more coming after this one. Of course, I had a lot of fun stamping and adding other touches with a little dimensional paint and some mark making. But of course, if you were doing this on a canvas, you could add all kinds of fun dimensional items to your ladybugs. The bottom ladybug is a piece of origami paper that I just cut out an actual shape of a ladybug that was on that origami paper. And then I used the same paper to cut the wings using my template. And I actually kind of like these on the same page. So feel free to kind of play around with the template and create your own combination of shapes and sizes of the ladybugs. On this page, I did some mark making with India ink, just straight out of the dropper. I just kind of lightly applied a little bit of pressure, and you'll see that there are different degrees of thickness in the line depending on how much pressure you apply. Mark making is meant to be very whimsical and loose, so you won't be able to exercise a ton of control. And here I switched to some dimensional paint because it does have a little bit of a metallic sheen. And I just mostly outlined and kind of created a line in the middle of this little ladybug and added their little appendages where I felt like they made sense to go. And here I'm using a glass pen with some ink, and I do have a couple of demos inside the community where I use this pen and talk a little bit more about it. But I'm adding a little bit of red here to my black just to kind of balance the colors, I guess you could say. And that is it. A couple of journal pages, a lot of fun. I hope you guys try it. Let us see what you do inside the community. Till next time, happy making!